Okay, we're going to move on to motor removal. Not a whole lot of special tools that you'll need for this job. Pretty much just normal hand tools. The only real special tool is going to be, of course, the H14 metric Allen. If it fits the outside plug, that's the size that you'll need. You'll need that to get the flywheel off as well as this plug. And then a 3-jaw puller to remove the flywheel from the crankshaft. I prefer to start with the flywheel side. Go ahead and take the stator off. It makes the motor a little less bulky when you're sliding it around. This motor, I've already removed one of the heads. When I took the motor out, this motor had lost some compression on the rear cylinder, so I was anxious to inspect it and find out exactly what was wrong. Sure enough, it had bent 2 valves, so that's where I'm at with this one. So I know this one's going to need a little head work, and the subsequent action of the motor running with no compression in that cylinder succeeded in washing the rings out, so it will be getting new rings in the rear cylinder as well. Okay, the stator cover's held on by a big magnet basically, so when you give it a little pry, you finally do get it loose. It's going to have a tendency to want to suck back on. So basically all you want to do is kind of pry it in a few spots and get it moving. Once you know for sure that you've got it loose, go ahead and grab it and pull it off. But it's not really going to come off by just being pried on. So the magnet's going to pull it back shut every time you open it. No matter how long you let one of these drain, there's always oil sitting somewhere. Okay, stator cover's off. All looks good inside there. These are your starter gears. There's pins in the cover that hold these gears inside here. You'll see how they mesh up. So I'll show you how to put those back in when we get finished. Okay. I generally prefer to use an impact for this. It's pretty tough to do with just a straight up ratchet because at this point in the deconstruction process, there's not a whole lot of compression in the motor, especially if the motor's been damaged. So it makes it a lot easier to get the center key out. Make sure and get a secure grip on the motor. You use a lot of Loctite when you put that in, so that booger is going to be tight every time. That's the reason I say to use an impact. Okay, now that we've got that apart, ready to go ahead and pull the flywheel. Can-Am makes a puller for it. I don't have one of those. I use just a 3-jaw puller. Snugged up. Make sure all your pieces are on there nice and tight. You want to do this in stages. Don't get too aggressive with it. flywheel can be bent. It is pretty resilient, but of course you wouldn't want to bend it. Take your 3-jaw puller off. Slowly remove your flywheel, watching for the keyway. I like to go ahead and take the keyway out. Screwdriver will usually remove that. Let me get one a little bit sharper. Definitely don't want to lose that keyway. So what I like to do with it is go ahead and drop it down inside the flywheel and the magnet. As you can see, it's inside there. It's not going to go anywhere, and it's going to be there when we need it. Okay, go ahead and remove your starter gear. Now we've exposed the lower cam chains. Go ahead and inspect your guides. This is an 09, so it has the upgraded guides in it, the rubber covered metal. Yours may look just slightly different if it's an 08 or older and the chain guides have never been updated. This is a perfect time to do that update. Okay, we'll go ahead and start on the top head now. First thing you want to do is remove the cam chain tensioner. Takes a 15mm to get the center of it out. Unthread it. Keep it in mind that this is a loaded spring, so you need to keep your fingers on it at all times when you're taking it out. And then slowly let the spring unload and remove it. If you'll look on the end of the spring, there's a flat piece that comes across. That goes into the slot in the cam chain tensioner. Take a small flat blade screwdriver, remove the tension from the cam chain by turning it counterclockwise until it bottoms out. It's not necessary to remove the tensioner from the head. I do, however, like to remove the cam position sensor. 2011 and older machines will be affixed with this. The 2012 will not. Go ahead and take that out. Okay, down inside you've got 2 small Torx heads that hold the head on. Go ahead and take those loose, remove them. Then take an 11 millimeter 5-point to get the head bolts removed, and then a 13mm to remove the cam gear itself. Remove your cam chain, cam gear. Come around here to the bottom. You have a 5mm metric that holds in the bottom tensioner. You'll need to remove the pin from that tensioner to get the chain out. Inspect your chain guide for any kind of wear. Like I said, these are the updated chain guides, so this one shouldn't have any wear in it, doesn't. Remove the horseshoe chain guide as well. you ought to be able to slide your chain out of your head. Okay, back to the head itself. Like I said, the head bolts are an 11mm 5-point or a 10mm 16-point. Now that you got your head bolts removed, head should slip right off. No problems. Careful not to bend your head gasket. Appears to be some type of pitting on this cylinder. Not sure exactly what's caused that, but we'll get it apart and have a look at it. Okay, now that you've got your head off, the lower chain guide will slide right out. And again, I'm going to inspect it for wear. This one has a slide mount. This one is all plastic, no matter whether it's been upgraded or not. So it wouldn't hurt to replace this one. Then your cylinder. Remove the other chain just to make sure it's not getting balled up. So we're going to turn it around. Go to the PTO side. Okay, now that we've got all the screws out, a couple pry points on this as well. Take your time getting it open. It's going to have a little bit of residual oil in it. Just want to make sure and press it off nice and even on the primary as to not to damage the case bearing if it's not already damaged. You get away with not replacing it, it'll save you quite a bit of money.